Alright, I figured I'd make a very short video of my methods for culturing houseflies. Now these are the larval cups. Most of them have a little bit more media than I normally put in them. You can see the larvae that are developing in there on the media. As the larvae develop in a cup, I split the mass of larvae in half so that they each have more room, and then I add fresh media to each cup. So basically that's what's been going on. I have my adult cage here. You can see that many adults have started to emerge in there. And basically, I've done a couple of things. Because I have a variety of larvae at different ages, I have basically nearly mature larvae all the way up to closing adults. I have a cup in there where all the pupae had been, and then I've just been putting the culture cups in there as adults have started to emerge and just allowed them to emerge up into the cage. I have a paper towel and a petri dish in there. You can see I have a couple of pieces of fruit. They are pineapple fruit. I will vary up the pieces of fruit I put in there. Some people will also, by the way, all of the dipterans that I do, all of the flies that I've worked with, I will feed this way where I take the chunks of fruits, and I usually use different fruits each time I do this, and I change them every 2 or 3 days. I'll also use apple, orange, banana, various things. First, I dredge them, or I lightly coat them in a dusting of this stuff. This is a mixture of bee pollen and powdered milk. Powdered milk you can find pretty much at any grocery store or whatnot, because the adult flies require a protein source. I also will add the bee pollen, and I bought a tall 8-ounce jar of bee pollen from the farmer's market from the people who were also selling honey. It was only a few dollars. You could probably also get them at any Whole Foods or specialty grocery stores, and I just use a mortar and pestle to crush everything up and make this fine powder, and that gives the flies a source of protein material, which is required for mating and egg laying. Now, I haven't spritz them with water yet. It's important to keep them hydrated, so I'm going to aim some of my water onto that paper towel there, and really flood that petri dish. But I'm also going to give these guys a gentle spritz, just so they can lap up some of that water from the sides of the cage. You don't want to leave the sides of the cage wet for too long, but it is really dry in here. In terms of getting the adults, first, in terms of making the media, we have this molasses, and I add it to some water. You see the dilution here. It's kind of a coffee color, and I usually don't let the water molasses solution sit for too long because I don't really want too many bacteria to grow in it. This is only for demonstration purposes. Anyway, you take a cup. I forget where I put the spoon that I use for this. Let's use a different spoon. I'm going to run the dishwasher anyway. You take a spoon. You take some yeast. It doesn't really matter if it's powdered or if it's the chunk form. Hang on. You put your wheat bran, which is available at a variety of stores, into there. Okay. You take your yeast. One sec. You put some yeast down. Then, you don't add too much of the moisture. I'm going to add just a small amount. Oh, okay, that's enough. Now, I usually shake the dry stuff first to distribute the yeast, but I don't think that's critical. And I usually do a back and forth stirring motion, making sure that I get all the stuff that's on the bottom. You can also kind of see on the sides there's a slight color change when it gets hit by the moisture. And that's about the moisture level you want it at. So if you compare that to the appearance of the dry stuff, that's the color of the dry, that's the color of the moist. It's not radically wet. Now, that's what you use for larvae. Just as a quick demonstration, if you want to get your adult flies to oviposit, now I'm not going to do the entire process here because my adult flies are not old enough to be mating and ovipositing yet. That'll be another few days from now. I take a couple of scoops of the media, of the larval media, and I put it in a petri dish. That's about all you need, really. what I will do, now I'll usually moisten it with milk or heavy cream. A really quick and easy way to do this is to take a small container of heavy cream. Who is that? A small container of heavy cream from the grocery store. Leave it out of your fridge for a few hours, and then just put it back in your fridge, and now it's ready to go. It will be useful. A lot of people will use milk, and that seems to work just as well, although I really get a lot of instant overposition results when I use something that's cream. It has more animal fat, not just the milk. So, we'll pretend the faucet is milk, okay? I'll add a little bit more moisture to this because the eggs need to stay a little bit wetter than the larvae. So you can kind of see it's more like porridge now. And then I will take a piece of paper towel. One sec.